Hello, listeners. This is Lee Price.
This is Will Ford from Football 365.
And you're listening smartly to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast, although I would describe it as the Chelsea FC podcast.
Magical from Eden Hazard. Kai Havertz in the Champions League final. Ivanovic! In the middle, it's just behind him. But it's tapped in by Hakim Ziyech. Matic with the ball driver. Matic takes the net off. Hat-trick hero. Cole Palmer wins an epic, sensational game.
It's time for another episode of At the Bridge Pod, your number one Chelsea FC podcast. Coming up on this episode, we have a time machine, we have £1 billion, and you damn well know we're going to build a better squad than Clearlake. Oh, welcome back everyone to another episode of At the Bridge Pod, and I'm joined in a virtual room filled with some lions. I've got Ollie, I've got Chris, I've got my cat Tom. It's a Friday show on a Friday. And what are you all looking forward to this weekend?
I've got one.
Please, go ahead.
I know. So I'm visiting some family this weekend, but that's not necessarily the only thing I'm looking forward to. I am, for the first time in a little while, going to watch the Chelsea game with my dad. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Oh, you poor bastard.
To be fair, someone did offer me a ticket. No names. They offered me a ticket. It would be in the home end. So straight away I was like, no. But even worse, it was £100. I'm like, I'm not doing that. £100.
Oh, I'm not going to the game. I'm not paying for that crap. We're watching it on telly.
Yeah, £100 to sit in the home end. I'm like, not doing that. No. Chris, what are you looking forward to?
Nothing. I'm ill again, so I'm just spending another weekend recovering. Honestly, I think I must have been ill at least 6 times since sort of Christmas.
You're quite a sickly person, aren't you?
Have you noticed that
winter,
Chris's immune system's matching up with Chelsea's form?
Yeah.
Chris, can you get better so we start winning again, please?
Yeah, please. Come on.
It's the stress of watching them lot try and play football.
Oh my word. You know what? Before my games of the weekend, Seg, I have got to say, I am actually hyped for the MLS season because every year it sneaks up on me, like that Jason Momoa and Henry Cavill meme. And it's done it again. It was only when I had a pod come through on my podcast app and I was like, oh, they're previewing the MLS teams. I was like, that's interesting. It's a bit early, isn't it? And I'm like, bloody hell. No, it's not. For some reason, I expect March or April for it to be the MLS season start. Nope, February. Hot on it. And you might be looking forward to it, Ollie, because Minnesota are looking like one of the better teams this year. One of the better teams. So
I'll be honest, I never watch us play, but go Minnesota.
I do watch a lot. I do love the MLS. It's just fun. Trust me, this weekend there's just going to be some insane scores and some ridiculous goals. Always is.
But you know what the MLS has?
Fun.
The best kits.
Oh yeah, Adidas have delivered this year. The
MLS kits are outstanding. Like almost every team has at least one really nice kit.
Yeah,
you would expect the Italian league to have better kits because they're all about the fashion and stuff, but it never quite works out that way.
Oh, the MLS kits are insane. I'm not.
Yeah, they are.
I'm not a fan of the Seattle home shirt, but that's just I'm not a big fan of stripes. However, the away kit, I love that. Oh, I love the away kit. On that, Mike's games of the weekend are, of course, all times GMT, time zones. Screw them, they're confusing. Saturday, 5:30. Let's be real, you'll be desperately trying to avoid Aston Villa versus Chelsea. You won't. You'll watch, you'll suffer, and somehow you'll convince yourself it was worth it. So I've just sort of skipped that. Before that, though, set your alarms, 12:30 in the afternoon, lunch in the UK. You've got to witness Everton beating Man United at Goodison Park for the final time. I mean, you've got it.
Please.
Guaranteed. Come
David
on.
Moyes coming back again.
He's doing it again. And Sunday, you're like, yeah, Mike, I know. Man City, Liverpool's on. That's too obvious. Boring. Instead, 11:30 in the morning, true footballing culture. Cesc Fabregas's Como take on the Serie A leaders Napoli. That for me is a highlight. And rounding off the weekend, Lyon PSG at 7:45. I think that is just Lyon.
A good weekend of games, actually.
It is, and I did read that I think Bayern have got Frankfurt, and tonight there's a big game in the Championship because No, is it? Burnley, Sheffield Wednesday, isn't that 3rd versus 9th? Oh, that's boring. Okay, fuck that.
And the Lionesses play tonight if people want footballer.
Oh, is that in the She Believes Cup? Or is
No,
that
Nations League. Nations League
Nations
against
League?
Portugal.
Oh, Nations
Interesting.
League never gets me excited. I can't.
No, it doesn't get anyone excited.
Do you think eventually it'll be the case of like, because people must have said this originally about some of the other competitions, this European Cup thing, I'll never get behind it. Like it doesn't get me excited. Does it just need time to grow a bit of pedigree?
Maybe.
Oh,
Maybe.
I've just seen Denmark are losing 2-1 to Sweden. And how is that possible? Sweden scored in minute 0. How the fuck have they done that? It
They
literally
started
says
1-0 up.
minute 0. Yeah.
Match fixing.
How does that work?
Well, who's in goal?
I don't. Ostergaard for Denmark. I need to know this.
Yeah, well, when
I'll
you
do
got
that
him
as
in
we
goal,
go.
you may as well be starting 1-0 down anyway.
What the bloody hell? That's I'm really Sweden, Denmark, Nations League. How do you score in the 0 minute? Oh, apparently 6. It's just they put the wrong digit on. Oh, there we go. We've learned something, listener. There we
It's
go.
a typo.
Oh, yeah. Don't use one source for all your information. There you go. That's what I've learned today. So, with that, let's hit some news. Oh, it's that time of the week. We're going to check out the news you may have missed in the elevator of Chelsea. Oh, hold on. The elevator is out of order. That, you know what that must mean? Oh, it must mean we got a PR briefing team. What a week of PR. Let's head to the briefing room because it looks like the club's been feeding the journalists their latest script. And as always, I've had listeners ask, will we talk about it? Of course we will. They've been more than happy to hit send. Here's what the club want you to know. So, Chelsea wants Enzo Maresca to be their long-term leader. He's less than halfway through what is regarded by them as effectively a double season. You think that's bollocks? We all do. But 2 Premier League campaigns, booking the Club World Cup in the US, 2 seasons, double season. And the next Pochettino-style review will be led by, of course, Paul Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart. That's going to be projected to take place in the summer of 2026. There's no appetite to bring that forward. Chelsea see Maresca's style as key to success, and they're building around it. They believe it suits the current and future signings, offering the best chance to turn their huge recruitment project into a winning team. Winstanley and Stewart retain the full trust as well of the Chelsea ownership, despite criticism frequently directed them by the supporters. I mean, it was a quiet news week, essentially, apart from PR. What do we all think about this PR? What do we think?
I hate the fact that they're trying to have set plans in an environment that's ever changing.
It's a double season, Chris.
No, it's not. It's not a double season.
Well, they keep saying it.
If we're 8th in May, that's where we finish. It doesn't carry on. The points don't carry over. It's not a double season.
Double season.
Yeah, it's absolute bollocks. Again, this whole notion of, wow, we're just going to review it in 2026. Yeah, that's fantastic. But what about if something happens between... Yeah, what happens between now and then? Because you just have to roll with what's happening. I mean, that line of they believe that his style of football is best for the current squad. Well, results would suggest otherwise.
Well, yeah.
As with player performances.
Yeah, and obviously on Bloomberg TV this week, Jonathan Goldstein, he's the Chelsea director. You might have gone, don't know who that is. No, I must admit, I forget half of the staff we've employed. We employed so many people, former rugby player, former baseball pitcher, I don't know. But he said that Maresca will 100% see out the season. Of course, it's double season. Enzo, he's clearly done a great job in bringing the team together, bringing the talent through, and we're very optimistic for the rest of the season. He then gave a little chuckle, and I'm just thinking, I don't think you've watched a single game.
Yeah, have they watched us play?
I don't. He gave off like I'm not digging at him. I'm just saying it looked like a guy who'd never seen us play, and he just went, "Yeah, we're doing great. Whoa, that club I'm director at. Yeah, just haven't. Is this going live? Yeah, he didn't look like.
Isn't he a like a lifelong Spurs season ticket holder as well, Goldstein?
Oh no. Yeah, but he's definitely watched. He's watched 3 games of us this season, maximum.
That would sum us up.
Maybe, yeah, well, maybe that's what it is. He's watched Spurs for like 30 years or whatever and gone, well,
You're right.
we're better than that.
You're right.
Yeah.
Actually, it says here, Spurs manager, Spurs fan. The rate's going, he might be. Yeah, Spurs fan. Ooh, oh dear.
That's why he thinks we're successful.
Top half. Woo!
We're having a great season by Spurs standards.
Bloody brilliant. And right, so we do have some news. We've got Renato Vega got an injury whilst on loan at Juventus. That's not great. Madueke's out for 4 weeks. And of course, the Conference League draw for the round of 16 was made. Well, it was made at 1 p.m. today. So we were the last one to be drawn. And well, Chelsea are heading to. Oh, come on. FC Copenhagen. Jesper Gronkia derby. The Jesper Gronkia derby, or the Mike derby. Hey, whoever wins, I win. I don't give a shit. I was like, I couldn't believe that. Because, like, of course, I do have a favouritism in the Danish league. I had to with my heritage. And I was like, it was always Copenhagen because of Gronkia. That was as simple as that. So this is going to be a great game for me. What do you think? What do you think of the draw?
Yeah, like I think we're going to have to play one of those better teams in the end anyway, whether it was going to be Betis, Fiorentina or Copenhagen. I think Copenhagen are no slouches. They'll be really well drilled. Of course, they came second in a Champions League group. We had it like Man United, Galatasaray, and was it PSG? Something like that. So they're no slouches, but let's be honest, we should be winning this game. Like we should be the ones going through out of us and them for sure.
Chris?
Yeah, and we're also on the very favourable side of the draw. We should walk to the final. It's that simple.
That draw, our projected pathway to the final. So round of 16, FC Copenhagen. Quarterfinals will be Molde or Legia Warsaw. And the semi-finals will be Paphos, Djurgården, Borac or Rapid Vienna. Now, realistically, the hardest team out of all them, I would say, is Copenhagen. I really would. I genuinely would, because looking at where the table worked out, Rapid Vienna were 4th, Djurgården were 5th, Legia Warsaw were 7th, and the next team we play, Paphos was 12th. Borac were 20th. Molde were 23rd. Ooh. Yeah, that's the thing.
It's ridiculous. We should win this competition, and it should be a given. It'd be one of them things where you'll go, "Oh, that was nice," but I don't think anyone's going to give a shit by June.
It's one of them, isn't it? Because it does feel unfair to everyone else that Chelsea are in it. I know we're playing a bit shit, but when you look at everything, look at the size of the club, the financial backing this club has. If this was replace us with possibly next season Bournemouth in it, you'd be like, "Oh, that looks fun." But for Chelsea, it's more like it's completely different.
It's just less fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
flat track bullies. That's us.
I'll be honest, I'm a little bit bored by the Champions League group draw. The knockout draw. I looked at it. Club Brugge Villa again. And who was it? Benfica Barcelona again. I was like, oh, this is shit. Feyenoord have got another Milan team. I don't know. Nothing.
The Madrid derby's a decent one.
Yeah, that looks fun.
That's a good one.
That does look fun. That's pretty much news. There was fuck all. That's why I did a new seg with the PR briefing. It'd probably be another one.
There was a few other little bits and pieces in terms of like people coming into the club, sort of backroom staff stuff, but nothing
I thought you were going to
major.
say injuries.
No, like there's like some head of data analytics, there's some medical physio person, I think, and from clubs here, there, and everywhere. I think we got someone who's like an analyst of performances from Wolves, like from Gary O'Neill's Wolves. So that'll be.
Oh, they're doing very well.
That'll go well. I think we got someone in from Barcelona. That's good, I suppose. And someone else.
Oh wow! I hope it's not a finance advisor.
I hope not. Yeah, I think the other one was just like someone who worked at Rangers and Brighton or something. So big shocker.
Elite club, sir.
Elite.
Yeah.
Notice it. He didn't say. Yeah. Oh dear. Right. We'll just scoot on to the next thing. Look, I'm absolutely buzzing for this episode. This Friday episode. The moment this idea was floated, it was floated over the weekend. It's just gone. And I just couldn't stop thinking about it. I was in love with it. Huge shout out to Shrupad on Twitter for just sparking the inspiration behind it, because they threw out the question of how Chelsea should have spent their £1 billion. And it was just too good to ignore. And so we've taken that idea, turned it into a full-blown segment called how Chelsea should have spent £1 billion. Very simple, very straightforward. The concept and the rules. So, strap in, listener. It's going to be fun. It will be fun. So, imagine Todd Boehly has handed each of us a £1 billion transfer budget. Our mission.
Cheers,
we've got thanks. I'm just running. I'm buying a house in the Maldives. I'm not spending it on the team, but he wants us to focus purely on the Chelsea squad, 25-man squad. So you got to start with the squad that concluded the 21-22 season, obviously when the sanctions hit and Clear Lake took over. But that does mean no Rudiger and no Christensen because they'd already pretty much agreed to join Real Madrid and Barcelona, so we can't reverse those fortunes, unfortunately. We've got to must include at least 5 Cobham graduates. So let's give credit to the academies. It's bloody good. The other 20 players, though, anyone who has been transferred between summer 2022 and summer 2024. And of course, we do need 8 homegrown players to fill the Premier League quota. So can't be too cheeky. We can't negotiate transfer fees. Whatever a player was bought for in that period is what we pay. And of course, we're just going to pick our squads, explain selections briefly, who made the smartest picks, who overpaid. None of us really. And did anyone forget to buy a striker? So you can submit your own as well, listener, if you want. It takes a bit of getting into because you've got to really do the research on it. But yeah, and Chris, you said earlier this week, how are we going to do this about taking 3 weeks to record? So I've got an answer for you. So instead of debating all the 25 players at once, we're going to split it up. We're going to do our first 5 picks. So that'd be the Cobham players, then the defensive core, so the keeper, defenders, the midfields, and then the attackers and game changers. So that pretty much sums that up. We're gonna do a soft cap time limit of 45 seconds to justify each choice. I'll just use a blow dart if anyone goes over. I'll probably forget. So
You should use the Condi alarm.
That's too much. Too much has anyone seen Spurs. Right. Cobham graduates. I don't know if we're going to have the same ones. I went with Reece James, Levi. Come on, I got his name last week, right? Levi Colwill, Trevor Chalobah, Conor Gallagher, and Josh Champong as my 5 minimum, and I didn't pick anyone else. What did you guys do?
I went very, very similar. I went Reece James, Josh Achiampong, Levi Colwill, Conor Gallagher, and Lewis Hall.
Oh, of course. He was on our books. Oh, Chris.
Really similar as well. I went with Reece James, Trevor Chalobah, Colwill, Lewis Hall, Conor Gallagher.
Wow. Births, I'm trying not to read all his picks because he's not obviously here, but he sent me his thing.
We all know Colwill's not in births.
He's not. It's Reece James, Gallagher, Hall, Chalobah, and Hudson-Odoi.
You know what? I don't hate that. Yeah.
It's not a bad shout, but I think it's that injury thing. That's the issue. He's done really well at Forest, and
Do you know what? I was weighing up whether to go for Billy Gilmore. Interesting. Yeah. I was, because I knew he'd be, he's the sort of player, we're building a super team, but he's the sort of player, if you can build, good players around him, he does better. So I don't know, but Gallagher's just better, isn't he? So
in my opinion, we all, yeah. Right. I'm approaching this, by the way, as if I'm the owner, the sporting director, the canteen manager, and the guy who decides what song plays when we score. So naturally, I haven't made the catastrophic mistake of sacking Thomas Tuchel, meaning we're still playing his system and style, and this made it easier for me to pick players. So I'm also keeping squad harmony in mind, because there's no point in me stacking 2 world-class players in one position if they both can't get regular game time and they come to my door having a moan. I don't want that shit. So goalkeepers. Now this fucking hell. I don't know if you found it barren. I didn't realise that not a lot of good goalkeepers moved in the last 5 windows.
I've come to the conclusion lately that they're actually, outside of maybe like 2 or 3, there are actually no good goalkeepers anymore. They're only like goalkeepers who are in good form.
I'll go reverse order for me. So third choice, I've kept Bettinelli. He's solid. He's experienced. He provides depth and experience, and also he fills the homegrown quota. So straight away he's in. I've kept Georgi Petrovic. I've kept that signing as if we were going to make it anyway. He moved. We signed him, so I don't have any reason not to have him sign again. 16 million. Thought he was, well, this is all in euros, I think. I don't know. But anyway, my number 1 goalkeeper, though, excellent shot stopper, composure, and I feel like he can actually, play with his feet. It's David Raya, 35 million. I couldn't.
Nice.
It was so difficult. It was such a barren wasteland of goalkeeper signings.
He was one of the only good options, I felt.
Yeah. Ollie, who did you have? Who's your three?
So I actually didn't go for three goalkeepers. I only went with two. So because I'm not planning on. Yeah, maybe a bit, but I'm not planning
history.
Yeah, well, maybe, but I wanted more space for other players. So the first one, I've kept Edouard Mendy. Now I know a lot of other people might disagree with that as a concept because I think people were saying, but before he kind of went off the boil at Chelsea, he was really not great and had like some really poor games. Like Madrid comes to mind, the Leeds game comes to mind. But I think his body of work overall was enough to be able to get him out of that funk. And I feel like having him in the squad just made such a massive difference mentally for the players in front of him because he was for 6 months nobody could touch him. I feel like if you've got a player who can be that good in your team, you should keep him. And the other one I've gone for is Sells. Who obviously moved from our Strasbourg, so it would have worked for us, to Forest, and was one of the best goalkeepers in Ligue 1 before he moved, and then now he's one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League this season at Forest. So I feel like it's a good double header of options. If Mendy goes off the ball, Sells is really reliable. I think it'll work.
I can see your logic. Well, what did you do, Chris?
I kept Bettinelli because third choice goalkeeper
means fuck all.
Who gives a shit? As my backup keeper, I kept Kepa.
Wow!
Experienced leader, and has shown at Bournemouth that he is still a good Premier League goalkeeper. The keeper I've signed, Marmoush-Dashvili.
Wow! Yeah. Okay.
45 million.
Yeah,
that is a big that's a big statement to make at goalkeeper.
I think the reason why I went for him was if Liverpool think he's good enough to replace Alisson,
he's good enough.
I think they must have seen something because they do get a lot of hits on transfers.
They probably watched the Euros, didn't they?
You know what? Yeah. Liverpool, outside of like a couple of times in the mid-2010s, they've always had pretty good goalkeepers.
Yeah, they have actually.
Yeah. Let's see what Berth did. Did he pick who I think? Oh, wow, Berth. Bloody hell. He's gone for an entire different back three, goalkeeping three. He's got David De Gea on a free, Aaron Ramsdale for 28 million, and Flecken for 13. Wow.
I mean, to be fair, that's stacked.
There's a lot of first choice goalkeepers there, though.
Yeah.
By the way, I didn't mention the price. Sells was 6 million.
Oh, we believe you. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We've got £1 billion, Ollie. We're fine. We're safe.
Yeah, got to shop in the bargain bin sometimes.
David Raya, it was between him and Jan Sommer for me, but I just thought the age thing played a part.
Sommer. I thought about Sommer as well, but I don't know.
He moved for.
I just
pretty
couldn't
much
quite bring myself for it. Yeah.
Right. So defenders. I've got Marc Cucurella. I kept him 65.3 million, and this is where obviously I've got Trevor Chalobah, Levi Colwill, Reece James, Josh Champong. We know those. So who are the others? I've kept Malo Gusto. 30 million. I think he'd have fitted in the Tuchel wing-back system. So I'm not kicking him out. Who have I picked though? Who are the other three? I've got Destiny Udogie. He's literally he was the player that went to Spurs last season. I was going to put him as my one to watch, and I bottled it and went Dara O'Shea, and I hate myself for doing that. I absolutely hate myself for doing that prediction.
He's having a bit of second season syndrome though at Spurs.
I know.
He had a good first season. He's struggling a bit this season, but I don't know. Do you blame him for that or Spurs?
Yeah, that's
probably
Spurs. And the other two, I've gone big, 90 million. Josko Guardiola. I mean, what can I say? He's one of the best young centre-backs in the world. He's got strength. And plus he can play on the left. He can play anywhere across that back line, which is always helpful with injuries. And the other, probably the player we're going to spend 50 million on in the summer before he went to Bournemouth, Dean Howson, 15.2.
Nice.
That's what I did.
That's not bad.
That's my back line, and I'm pretty content with that. What about you, Chris? What have you got for your defenders?
So I've got Reece James and Malo Gusto for right back.
Brilliant.
Same reason. I think Gusto, if you play him properly, I wouldn't have Maresca in charge. So I'd have a proper manager who knows what to do with players. So used properly, he's really good. Left back, I've got Lewis Hall and Kukurea. Centre backs, I've got Colwill and Chalobah, and then I've got Sven Botman.
Oh,
Yeah, not a bad shout for a Newcastle player. He's been part of a good defence.
37 million as well, which I think is a bit of a bargain.
yeah.
And I think he's underrated. Good leader as well.
I totally forgot about him.
I've got Mickey van der Ven.
Oh, yes.
Good shout.
Yeah.
40 million. Started really well at Tottenham, and then he's had some injury problems, but I do think he's a really good defender, and he's quite young as well.
Yeah.
And then I've gone with Bremer
Oh, yes,
for
of course.
46.9. He struggled a little bit at Juventus. He's picked up over the last year or so, but he was really highly rated when he was at Torino. So
yeah.
I think he'd be, again, brings some character to the back line.
100%. I remember, yeah. To be fair, you've just named two players who I had consideration for as well. I think, why did I bottle it on Van der Ven? Probably the Spurs. I was like, Spurs. What about you, Ollie? Who have you got?
Yeah, really quick, Mikey. We're doing this in pounds, yeah? Because I think you guys are using
We've got
the
euros because that's literally how the website works.
Yeah, I've done euros, and then
mine.
I converted my total at the end.
Right, okay. I've just converted mine individually, but that's fine. So right back, I've got Reece James and Malo Gusto, same as you guys. Gusto for me was, £24 million. That seems like a bargain in today's market. Yeah. Left back, I've got Lewis Hall, and I'm putting Josko Gvardiol there, £74 million.
Nice.
So already 100 million on the defence, but probably worth it. And then centre back, I've got Ashiang Pong and Colwill. I've also kept Thiago Silva.
Oh,
nice.
Because I think you probably a bit more. I've got a lot of young players in my defence, so I feel like you need that experience in there.
I nearly did that as well. I nearly did that.
And of course, he's free in quality, so it's hard to go against it. But then I've also gone for Van der Ven for 33 million quid. And the last one who can also cover for on the right side in case Reece James gets it. Well, when Reece James gets injured, I've gone with Jules Koundé, 41 million.
Oh, I think I bottled picking him again. Another one on my list because
I don't
of the whole
like
saga. It was that saga. It was that saga with Barcelona when he was going to do it and then he decided he wasn't. And I'm like, would you have done that the exact same if I was in charge? I feel like you would have.
Yeah, maybe, but but he's a snappy dresser.
Yeah.
I've just quickly totaled up mine because I've fucked that up. I think I sent it in the group. Anyway, let's look at talking the group. Let's look what Berth put. He picked Van der Ven. Good shot. Botman. Oh, you two are on a page. Timber, Murillo, Gusto, and Kirkes. Good shout. I like
nice.
that.
That's
Kirkes is a good shout.
An all new defence from Berth, more or less. That's class.
Well,
a lot of good players there.
Yeah.
Just trying. Oh, I found mine. I've put it on the group chat. Thank fuck I did that. So midfielders. I feel like we might all have the same midfielder, one at least. So we already know I've got Conor Gallagher. He's sat there. He's happy. He's the golden retriever I love. So who have I got? I've got Moises Caicedo. I've kept him. He's arguably our best player. I could not just go, nah, fuck that. So I've kept him. I've gone Cole Palmer as well. 47 million euros. And I mean, it's Cole Palmer. What can I say? And now the three other midfielders I've gone with Morgan Gibbs-White.
Nice.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, I like him.
But okay, I like it.
Well, I've gone straight back to, I don't know if did he move from Wolves to Forest? Or was he somewhere,
Yeah, Wolves to Forest. Yeah.
I think it's a Sheffield United thing that confuses me, that's why. But yeah, and then I've gone, hey, Wolves, I like Ruben Neves. So I've picked Ruben Neves.
Oh, I love that.
He's one of my. I've seen that guy play live when he was in the Championship, and you could see that he was just class levels above everybody. I mean, he really was like playing in a charity game. It was insane how good he was in that league, of course, and he took it to the Premier.
Such a shame he wrote his career going.
I
to
agree.
Saudi.
And of
Yeah, but
course,
Mikey has saved him.
I've saved him. And now
Yeah.
I have gone. Matt O'Reilly. I wanted to be a wild card. I wanted to pick someone out there. I've gone Matt O'Reilly. I can't resist.
I like that. I like it.
Plus, he's got tactical awareness. I still think he'll be Brighton's next big sale.
He will.
I do, because
If he stays fit.
Yeah, he's so good. He's so good. He just is. Just trust me. Chris, who have you got for your midfield?
Well, I've brought Caicedo, the same as we did.
Of course.
116 million. I've bought Cole Palmer for 47 million. I've kept Conor Gallagher.
Yeah.
I've also kept Jorginho.
Nice.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah, that's good. It's not bad.
Experience, leadership, thrives in a possession-based system, which is the direction we wanted to go in, apparently. I've brought Bruno Guimaraes.
Oh, he's class.
Oh, how did I forgot him?
For 42.1 million, which I think is a bargain.
Yeah,
and then
That's true.
real bastard player that you want in midfield.
Yeah, and then I've gone big on a game changer. 113 million on Jude Bellingham.
Yeah, great shout, mate.
I can't knock it. I think I think because I just took it way too far, and I'm like, I'm going up against Real Madrid. Can I convince him? I don't know how much money I'm going to give this guy. And then I realised that if I'm the owner, I can give him what the fuck I want per week. So, you know.
And to be fair, we've all got hundreds of millions of pounds left over from the original billion, so I can give him that if I want to.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
That's your signing bonus, dude.
It's a spoiler there, listener, but I'm pretty sure none of us have spent over 1 billion.
It's impossible in a 25-man squad.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But Ollie, who have you got midfield?
Okay, so I have also still gone with Caicedo. That's 96 million pounds.
You know,
96 million. It feels like 96 billion.
that's some dodgy agent fees. Ollie, you're paying out a dodgy agent fee there.
I've also, like I said, I kept Gallagher, so he's free. I've also kept N'Golo Kante.
Yeah, because I nearly did that, but his injuries stopped me from doing it.
Yes.
Yeah, injuries, but I figure with Caicedo there, you could almost have Kante showing Caicedo the ropes.
Yeah,
and I feel like
nice.
that would just make him even better. I've also gone with Cole Palmer, like you guys went with. That's 38 million quid on my end. I've also gone with Andre Santos because although he hasn't done it for us yet in a Chelsea shirt, but he looks absolute quality, and he was only 18 million quid, which is looking like a bargain at the moment with the way he's playing in Liga. And I've also spent the 93 million pounds on Jude Bellingham as well.
That's totally fair. That's totally fair.
So like, slightly more defensive midfield from me, but Bellingham's a game changer. Palmer's a game changer. I feel like there's enough between them.
Yeah. Berth's put Palmer in his attackers, so that's fine. We had this chat on the group. I'm like, is he a midfielder? Is he a forward? Is he an attack? What are we doing? We midfielders for now. He's kept Caicedo. He's gone for Tielemans on a free. That's not bad.
Oh, I like that.
I like that show. Yeah,
I love
this.
proper ball knowledge because he only scores screamers.
And he's been clever here. He's put João Palhinha when Fulham bought him. Nicely played there. Nicely played. Yeah. Get him in early. And Morgan Rogers, that's pretty good. What a shout. Yeah. Cheap as cheap he is. Alexis McAllister as well. Yeah, that's a very good midfield. That.
Yeah, again.
I like that.
Buff's going to go absolutely crazy on the attackers, isn't he?
Yeah.
His defence is good, but not super expensive. His midfield is good, but quite cheap.
Messi moved from PSG to Inter Miami, so you could have him. Right, forwards. I've gone forwards and strikers. I've separated here. So these are my forwards, wingers and wide attackers. If you wonder how many of the current... None of them. None.
Same.
None.
Same.
Not a single one. You know what?
Nobody
there was
stayed.
one that was just... He was there, and then I looked at who I could have, and I was like, I like you, Madueke, but I like these four more. I've got to do this. So, I've gone Bradley Barcola. Boom. I've gone a player that we wanted, Tuchel wanted, Anthony Gordon. Was it Anthony Gordon under Tuchel? Was that Potter?
Yeah, no, that was Gordon wanted him, and Lampard wanted him as well.
Yes, that's good enough. Anthony Gordon, boom. Ousmane Dembele. He's in insane form right now. And I've gone, you know what? I need a bit of an electric talent. I need speed. I need some aggression. I need a wild card, Yankuba Minter. and he probably will end up playing for us because he plays for Brighton anyway now. So that's why I've gone.
Yeah.
Realistic as well. So, and all that was 45, 45.6, 50 and 35. I mean, what? I didn't need Mudryk. Didn't go mad. Didn't need Jadon Sancho. No.
There was some bargains in wingers.
Oh, the Barcola was because of I think he wanted the move, and Leon are pretty much bankrupt.
Yeah. I know. I'm not sure if any of us have picked him, but I was on the fence for a left winger about Desiree Doué, who went to PSG as well because he's class, but he just didn't quite make the cut.
Honestly, if I'd have known how that squad would have meshed, I would have put PSG as my Champions League prediction because they got a super squad now. They really are better without Mbappe. But Chris, who have you got? Forwards, wingers, whatever.
So for the right, I've got Michael Elise.
Oh yeah,
nice. Yeah, and he's homegrown. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
53 million. And to sort of alternate with him, Mohamed Kudus for 43 million.
Of course.
And then on the left, I also went for Bradley Barcola, 45 million. And then I went with Rafinha.
Oh, another player that shafted us.
No. Yeah.
Right, he shafted us for a promise. That's pretty much what Barcelona players who join now get. They get a promise. You might get paid this week. You might not. Ollie, who have you got wingers? Wide attackers,
we're
forwards?
We're doing wingers first, then we're doing sort of major game changes at the end.
Yeah, strikers. Yeah.
All right, sure. So on the right hand side, I've gone for 3 right wingers, 2 left wingers. So I've got Michael Elise, 53 million quid. I've got Ousmane Dembele, 42 million quid.
Love it.
And then I've also gone with Esteval, who was actually only 29 million quid because the rest of it's add-ons apparently. One of our. Same with sort of Santos. Not kicked a ball for us yet, but talent's ridiculous, isn't it? I don't know if anyone saw that goal he scored the other day where he dribbled through about 10 players.
It's wild, isn't it?
Yeah. On the left, I've gone with Maradona, 58 million. Just moved to PSG, but I want that ruthlessness on the left-hand side. And I've also gone with Anthony Gordon, 37 million, which I think you can't go wrong, reliable goal scorer.
Yeah, you know what? Nearly all of us went with Anthony Gordon because Berth's got him. He's got Rafinha, and he also went with Sadio Mane.
Oh, good shout.
Yeah. Although the Mane who moved to Bayern isn't quite the same as the Mane we all knew, I would say.
No, that's true. That is true.
Yeah, that's very true. Strikers, I'm going to go Berths because he's gone quick. He's gone Isak, Nicholas Jackson, and you know what? It's funny you said that because I've got Isak and Nicholas Jackson, but I've not gone just 2 strikers because you're like, that's 24 players. Who's your wild card, Mike? Matteo Retegui. Oh yes, the guy who's at Atalanta, but I'm buying him from Genoa before he made that move, so he'd be cheaper. And he's absolutely flying for Atalanta this season. And I'm thinking when we signed him, which would have been then at that point, he wouldn't be too upset about being second choice. And we've got Jackson, we've got Isak. I think I'm winning the fucking Premier League. I am. I'm pretty sure. But Ollie, who have you got? Who's your strikers? Ollie's
gone.
Ollie.
He's quick because he can't beat your strikers.
Well,
can you hear me?
Oh, he's back. Look at that.
Hey.
Hello. Sorry. I could hear you. You couldn't hear me. I'm on my mobile setup, listeners. A little bit of inside baseball. I am, so it's all a bit mental today. I've gone with Erling Haaland for 50 million, which really was probably 150 million.
Yeah, you're never paying that.
Yeah. I've also gone with Isak. Nice. So 2 of the best strikers in the league at the moment. But Ollie, you've got the big brutish target man. You've got the channel runner in Isak. Yeah. Who are you going to use for your false 9? It's only gone and signed Lionel Messi for free.
I knew it. I predicted that lot in the midfield. I knew it was going to happen.
Do you know what? The reason I've gone with Messi, even though he is past it, a little bit, he's still Messi for a start. You're going to make that money back in shirt sales anyway. But on top of that, It was, I was thinking about it, and I was saying, would I rather have Bettinelli as my third choice, or would I rather have Messi?
Ollie has just basically what Ollie has just told you, listener, is that he's convinced that he can sell London better than Beckham can sell Miami.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm actually going to Miami on holiday this year. So
See,
that says
you
it all,
don't believe
doesn't
your
it?
own you don't believe your own bullshit.
Well, you know what? Then I'll fit in just fine in the
Right.
hierarchy.
Chris, who have you got strikers?
Well, I should have said as well, I did keep Tyreek George as well in wingers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's nice. Homegrown quota. Get those numbers up.
I've got Nicholas Jackson, 37 million. And then I thought, with our history of failed strikers, would Haaland have been successful? Would Isak have been successful?
Oh.
So I went Harry Kane. Proven.
Okay. Yeah.
95 million.
I reckon Berth did the same.
He went with Isak and Jackson.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Was that your strikers done? Or
Yeah, just the two, because I don't need any more than two, because
yes. Yeah.
Well, if I had to, I'd just pay Bellingham up front like Real Madrid have done.
Yeah, you know what's ironic? I've picked Isak because of what he became in the Premier League. But when Newcastle signed him, I will be honest, when they paid his release fee, I wasn't impressed by his numbers in La Liga.
Because they wasn't good.
Well, he got a 17-goal season, and then the season after he only got 6 goals, and I was like, is it worth it? And I was like, that's a bit of a high
Turns out
pay.
it was worth it.
It was very, very worth it.
How much did you guys all spend in the end?
Hang on a minute. I've got it on our little group chat. I spent a nice. Let's scroll up. It definitely posted it. I spent £704 million, 849 euros.
Nice. I think I spent 750 or so million quid. So I don't know.
Why are we not in charge? Why are we not in charge of this club? We've done such a good job. Come on,
Chris. How much did you spend?
786 million pounds.
See what I mean?
Big spender.
And we not only have we got money left over, we could have bought a Portuguese club. We could have done it easy.
Honestly,
that was my final. Yeah, my final signing was Portimonense.
I did this squad and looked at how much I'd spent, and then I went to try and spend $1 billion, and I don't think it's possible.
No, it's
not with 25 players. It's just not. I don't know how we've done it.
Not without massively overspending on loads and loads of players.
Yeah,
I'm curious what the cost of a Portuguese club is.
I was
thinking
about
250 million.
I suppose we haven't spent £1 billion on 25 players, have we?
No, we spent £1 billion on 40 players, which sounds about right.
Yeah.
I do have. When I scroll down, I do have a best 11 as well, because Tuchel, he favoured his 3-4-2-1 or his 3-5-2. And I'm reading that from a script because there's no way I'm going to remember them numbers all in order. So my optimal starting 11 is 3-4-2-1. It's David Raya in goal. I've then got centre backs. I've got Colwill, Guardiola, Chalobah. Left wing back, I've gone Udogie. And right wing back, I've gone Reece James. But of course, Cucurella could slip in, easily. My midfield pivot, I've gone Caicedo and Neves. My attacking mids, I've gone Palmer and Dembele. And of course, the big target man with all the skill in the world, Alexander Isak. I don't know if you did a combined 11. You didn't have to. You could do it on the fly.
I can quickly make one up, I think. I've got on with a 4-3-3. I've got Mendy in goal. Back four is James, Silva, Van der Ven, Guardiola. 3 in midfield, I'd probably go Caicedo, Bellingham, Palmer. And then I'd go probably Kvaradona,
Nice.
Elise on the right, and Haaland up front.
Ollie's scared to say Kvaratskhelia. Oh, I got it right. Come on, Chris.
Yeah.
Kvaratskhelia. Go on, Chris.
I would go 4-3-3 as well.
Ooh.
Marmashashvili in goal. James, Botman, Van der Ven, Cucurella. Elise on the right, Rafinha on the left, Caicedo, Palmer, Bellingham, Harry Kane.
Nice. And what was
Yeah,
that club you
spot.
were going to buy, Ollie?
Portimonense, I think is the way you say it. Portimonense, I think.
Is that? I'm trying to find them on this
Their
list.
crest is like it's the black and white one with the eagle on top of it, I think.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know
yeah,
what you're talking about.
They would have cost into total market value. This is on Transfermarkt. 47.33 million, less than Mudryk.
Right, I'm buying the whole Portuguese league with the money left over.
You know what? Apart from SC Braga, Porto, Benfica, and Sporting, most of the clubs are under 45 million pounds.
Yeah, but they'd sell
Euros,
for
sorry.
more, wouldn't they? They would sell for more these days.
Of course. I've never really looked at the values of clubs and just see what they were worth. I was curious. Anyway, there we go, listener. Let us know how you would have spent $1 billion, probably quite easily. And what club you'd buy. That'd be. I'm going to have a quick peek while I'm doing this preview. So on that, let's go to the line of the week because we're heading to the Midlands. Here's the scoop on Aston Villa. They're sitting in 9th. They have a record of 10 wins, 9 draws, 7 defeats. Recent form, no wins. I know that scared me too. 4 draws and a loss. Player spotlight. Look, who should we be keeping an eye on? I'll go for the triple threat. I'll go for the triple English threat. I'll go Watkins, Rashford and Rodgers because we know how Rodgers can be, but Berth picked him. Rashford at Villa under Emery, small sample size, but I think he looks a little free, doesn't he? He
always played well against us as well.
Exactly. I remember the free kick, unfortunately. So don't sleep on any of them 3. You might wake up with them running the show. Now, the last time Villa beat Chelsea in the Premier League at Villa Park, very precise, was the 23rd of May 2021. Wouldn't be a preview without me telling you what was the UK #1 hit when this happened. It was Body by Tion Wayne and Russ Millions. It's yet another song I'd never heard of, and I wish it had stayed that way because it's absolutely shit. It's just
I've genuinely never heard of that song.
Oh, you are not missing out. Trust me. Like the second Joker film I watched last night. Absolutely garbage. Horror. I wasted 2 hours of my life watching that. Awful.
Should have watched Pirates of the Caribbean instead.
Again,
franchise.
a classic. Right, stage set. Who are you going with lion-wise? Who are you going with as I'm rushing onto the spreadsheet?
I'm going to go with Caicedo because he's the only player we've got playing well at the moment.
Yeah, to be fair, I think he was going to be my pick as well, but I'll go someone different.
Why have I picked Jackson? Jackson can't play.
Who shall I go with? Do you know what? I'm going to go with Enzo Fernandez, purely based on he's had good games against Villa in the past.
Was he?
Yeah.
Was that the free kick game?
Yeah, free kick in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
And then he scored earlier in the season as well when we beat them 3-0.
You know, he scored that same goal twice because he scored that same goal against Spurs, didn't he? That sort of outside the foot on the edge of the box goal.
Let's see what the wheel kicks up with. Oh. Well, no, Nicholas Jackson's injured. Let's be sensible. Come on. The wheel doesn't update with injuries. Come on, wheel. Don't let us down. Don't do another. Oh. Is that Axel Disasi? Did I not remove him?
Playing for Villa.
Oh, yeah. No, well, he can't. That's the beauty of the loan
that
system.
Would be funny, though.
Break the rules. Oh, no. Cole Palmer. Well, that's just cheating, that wheel. You've just gone with the easy choice.
Well, would you say that? None of us have picked him this week because he's kind of gone off the boil lately.
That is also true. I'm just looking at what clubs we could have bought. Let's look at La Liga clubs' value. I'm really curious by this.
Mikey's gone down a rabbit hole here.
Maybe we should make this into an episode. You know, we bring 3 clubs that we would buy for the multi-club model and why. Or something.
I'm looking. We could have bought Valencia, 235 million. Oh,
nice.
I mean, if we're looking for a bargain, who's the... There's not many. No, I wouldn't say any of that. Real Madrid's worth 1.23 billion. That's less than what we spent on it.
Still could have bought them.
We could have literally bought Real Madrid. Oh my God.
That's what we should have done.
Yeah.
We'll buy 2/3 of the Real Madrid.
We'll just buy Real Madrid
instead.
Oh my word! Right, questions. Someone, was it a question that I've not answered? I don't know if it was a. I think we didn't answer it. Let's have a look. JRMT, yeah. What do you think of Sanchez's new haircut? It's like, as if the journalists get a set amount of questions each press conference. That's just well known, and they wasted it on that. I just was like,
I know.
why? No one gives a flying shit at all.
Yeah, maybe he'll now be a good manager, Sanchez.
Oh no! Oh, that just said. So you're saying Maresca gets sacked and Sanchez takes? Oh no, he's going to pick himself. Oh,
For balls, yeah.
He's never gonna be dropped ever.
Honestly, if he comes back and he's completely bold and he drops a clanger, there's going to be some all-timer jokes on the timeline. That's all I'm saying.
Vic Ferreira. If we still had Thiago Silva in our squad, would our team perform better?
Yes. It's quite simple. Yes, we would.
No.
We're short of bodies in centre back anyway, and we need the lead.
I don't think Maresca plays him.
Oh, okay, that's fair. But if he did play, 100%.
Oh yeah, because he's absolute class and he makes other people around him better.
But that does help. That does help. And this was a class question from Zero Quai. Absolutely. Idea. So there you go. Following the ranking of every Clear Lake signing, how about same for sales? I'm like, we've got a free Friday show coming up.
Oh yeah.
That's going to be bad. The amount we might have to be careful with loans because as we found out in Loan Army Carousel, there was like 38 loans alone.
Yeah,
which was like shit.
I don't think you count loans because they're not sales unless there's an obligation to buy. It's not a sale.
Like, oh gosh, Bashir Humphries was an obligation to buy.
I would go as far to say unless there's an obligation and it's been triggered. You know, like if there's an obligation to buy at the end of this season, for example, I think that's still a loan.
Yeah.
Let's look on Twitter. What have we got? Oh, Brent, what are you saying, man? You've gone, by how many goals will we lose to Villa? In what minute does Cole Palmer throw up his hands for the first time? In what minute does the away end start to clear out?
6-1-1. There we go.
Oh my god. I don't think we get beat. Because let's not muck about here. We're playing Villa where they've had like what 2-3 days rest.
They've played twice since we've last played.
Yeah, the thing is though with Villa, I watched them against Liverpool. They are very good on the transition, and Brighton killed us on the transition.
It depends, I think, what Villa turn up because they drew to Ipswich, then they drew to Liverpool. You know, like so. It depends if we get the former, we might well actually get a result. If it's the same team that turned up against Liverpool, we are finished.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Also true. Right, let's wrap up today's show with Lone Army Carousel, because today's category is, let me get the voice ready, the Champions! Because the Champions League has been graced with some fantastic goal scorers over the last 3 decades. But I want you to name the 24 players to have scored multiple hat-tricks in the competition. That's 3 goals or more in a game, and they've got to have scored multiple hat-tricks. So obviously if they've scored 1 in the competition, it means fuck all. And, you know, I'm guessing it's like the tenure of the 30 years, so not, you know, all at one club, but you get the idea. So since 1992, I'm going to go with, that's when I think it changed, Brandon. Let's go with that. Who's defending champion? Who is defending champion? Well, Chris, you can take us off. Name me a player who's scored more than 1 hat-trick in the Champions League.
Messi.
Lionel Messi is on the list.
Ronaldo.
Can I push you, please?
Sorry, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Cristiano Ronaldo is on the list.
Oh, he's being pedantic today.
I've got to do it.
He's got his pedantic head on.
Which Pogba?
Yeah.
Which Pogba?
Kylian Mbappe.
Yes.
Lewandowski.
Yeah.
Robert Lewandowski is on the list.
Harry Kane.
Harry Kane is on the list.
Benzema.
Karim Benzema is on the list.
Drogba.
Drogba. Yeah.
Neymar.
Yes.
Filippo Inzaghi.
Oh, classic. Yes.
What a player.
Haaland.
Yeah.
Oh, great shout. Aguero.
Sergio Aguero is on the list.
Eto.
Samuel Eto'o is on the list.
Ah, good shout. Shevchenko?
Yes.
Oh, good
Ain't
shout.
no way he did it for us.
No, not for us.
Adriano.
Yes. Yeah, Shevchenko would have done it for like Kiev and Milan, I think.
Yeah.
Luis Adriano. The Shakhtar one.
You're right. He's on.
Ollie's really helped me out there.
Van Nistelrooy.
Rude. It's on there.
That is a good shout.
I'm trying to think of people who've played in like a lot of Champions Leagues.
Yeah. Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, yeah,
good
that's that. Yeah, I know he has. It's just weird to think of him as a goal scorer still. I'm like, do you though?
Yeah, City battered a lot of teams in the group
Yeah,
stages.
exactly.
Still,
Yeah.
didn't
Over
they?
the years. Yeah. Michael Owen.
He's on there.
Good shout.
6 names.
He scored one for us. Has he scored one for somebody else? Is the question. I'll risk it because I ain't got another name. So, Olivier Giroud.
He's on there.
Oh,
I don't know
Don't
who
know who
he
we got the other one for,
Arsenal, maybe.
yeah.
Oh, Montpellier could have been them. I don't think he left
yeah.
after the title win.
Oh.
I'm going to Google
Or
that.
might be AC Milan.
That's
I'm
true.
going to go with someone who played before my time, but I know he was very good. Andy Cole.
Yes, he's on there.
How many we got left now? Can't be many
4.
left. 4.
4.
I'll
Olivier Giroud. Who did he score with?
tell you what, I'm gonna go with just a striker that I liked and I've brought up on the pod before. I think Roy Mackay.
Yes, I love that guy, and he's on there.
Oh, he was class.
Oh, he's so good. Where is Giroud?
I'm struggling now.
Oh, I've
I was going
accidentally
to...
closed it.
No, not him, because they didn't get far enough. Baggio?
Chris.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Oh,
Chris.
Chris. Chris takes.
I had one more. So
Oh, go on.
and I think it was during the Villarreal days
Okay.
before he was shit. Roberto Soldado.
Yes. Yes. I'm really shocked. I didn't think anyone would get
Hang
that.
on. Soldado has scored the multiple Champions League hat-tricks.
Yes.
He
Giroud
was good once before
Gi-
Tottenham.
Giroud scored 1 for Arsenal, 1 for Chelsea, and that's it. Just
Oh.
who did Soldado get?
I was
some
going to
for?
say Henri, but I don't think they got Arsenal
No.
really ever got that far
No,
enough to...
I don't think
do
Henry
it.
did.
But
else
Soldado
were we
for
missing?
Valencia. You are missing
Valencia.
Mario Gomez
Oh, he was a good player.
and Chris. This is in your Italia 90 spectrum. I thought Marco Simone or Simone. I don't know who that is. I know.
I wouldn't have
yeah.
I wouldn't have took the risk there, though. You see.
Yeah, I was just looking at a picture of him from the early 2000s on Wikipedia, and I'm like, he looks like he's in a boy band. He's that kind
Is
of.
that-
He has that
when he was at
suave-
Monaco.
Must be. Yeah, it would be. Monaco
There's
or
some
AC
good
Milan.
players who you would have thought have scored more Champions League hat-tricks, like, I don't know, Del Piero, like, I don't know, like quite a lot of
Totti.
like the Italian strikers. And yeah, Henri, you would have thought, maybe you would have thought Shearer would have got one,
Yeah.
like, or at least a couple, I don't know.
On
There's a
the
lot-
list.
we've done this a few times where, like, there are some players you like. It happened recently with the overall hat tricks. I think we did. Whereas like. What was it? Harry Kane hadn't scored a hat trick since like 2018.
Yeah,
and like
I tell you, the biggest.
Kluivert scored 2.
The biggest shock for me, who's not on that list, is Raul, who was Champions League top scorer before Ronaldo and Messi came along.
Just 2.
That's
just
mental.
scores 2. I've just looking.
Forgot about Raul.
Henry scored 1 hat trick in his entire Champions League tenure, and it was 27th of November 2002 against Roma for Arsenal. That sounds that's insane. Ronaldo, the original Ronaldo, this hat trick, I remember it lives rent free in my head because I watched the game live
At Old Trafford.
Yeah, that's literally his only hat trick, and to be fair, it's a bloody good hat trick.
Yeah,
it's
what a hat
interesting,
trick,
isn't it? Because there are some players who come up, and I'm not trying to suggest Henry isn't like one of the best ever, but there's some players who come up on these kinds of lists again and again and again, and like Lewandowski's on there, Benzema's on there, Mbappe's on every list like of this kind. And there's so many of those players who kind of come up every time, and then there's the odd one that they're never on there, like a bit like Henry.
I can't believe. You know what's funny? I've just looked at who Drogba got his 2 hat tricks against. So for Marseille against Partizan Belgrade, I'm like, okay, and Chelsea against Levski Sofia. Basically, he was a flat track bully in the.
Yeah, basically,
no.
Europa League clubs.
Andrei Shevchenko. Now that's the one I was most curious. Did he get? He got 2 hat tricks. 2. Oh,
Both
Milan against Fenerbahce and Kiev versus Barca. Thank you. I'm so glad I was right with Kiev.
Who has the most, Mikey?
Messi and Ronaldo. Messi and Ronaldo with 8. Messi and Ronaldo have 8 each. Lewandowski 6. Benzema 4. Then on 3, you've got Mbappe, Inzaghi, Gomez, Luis Adriano, Neymar, and then everyone else has 2, apart from Soldado.
That's still mental from Neymar, from the wing.
No, Soldado has 2 as well.
You know what's funny? You could write that list out and put who doesn't belong here, and Luis Adriano stands out like a sore thumb on that list.
Soldado's the other one.
I don't even know. Does he still play?
I don't know. All I remember is he scored 5, didn't he, in one game for Shakhtar against someone shit.
Let's have a look. He is currently playing for Vitória in Brazil. Oh, okay.
Good for him.
Okay. His career is very interesting. It's Internacional, Shakhtar Donetsk, Milan, Spartak, Palmeiras, and Talyaspor, Internacional, Vitória. It's like,
it does beg the question, like, what do so many Brazilian footballers see in the Ukrainian league?
There is a big, I can't do it justice. There was a video on YouTube, you'll have to find out, listener, about they explained the connection between Shakhtar Donetsk and Brazil. It's really good. I cannot remember where. I'll have to find it and put it in our little Twitter thread for this.
Or our Discord. Come join our Discord.
Damn right. It is a really, really interesting. It's just so interesting how it works. And I'm not even going to go into it because it doesn't give it. It's worth watching. So with that's it. That's another episode done. In the books, of course, proud to remind you of our partnership Head in the Game, mental health charity using football to support wellbeing and community. Check them out, headinthegame.co.uk. Treat yourself well. We'll be back Monday. We've got winners and losers from Chelsea and Aston Villa. Hopefully winners, lots of winners. Until then, that'll be us signing off. You've been listening to At The Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram by searching for At The Bridge Pod. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, leaving us a review is always appreciated.